Snakes, crocodiles, turtles, lizards. Reptiles often get a bad rap, but they're just trying to get by day to day, just like everyone else. In tonight's makeup, I pay homage to our scaly, cold-blooded friends, because I believe we're all a little more reptilian than we think.
Gonna glue down those eyebrows and apply a latex bald cap using Prosthetic. For this character, I'm going to leave the ears covered. Start applying Prosthetic on the center of the face, then get the prosthetic in position. This piece is from Woochie. Once the eyes and nose are good, glue the rest down, lightly tugging on it to where I want it to go. The mouth area was snug, so I slit the foam on both sides for better movement. Seal the edges and the foam with Prosthetic. When that dries, powder it with Skin Illustrator Zero Color Powder. With Mehron Paradise Paint in white, sponge a quick base all over. And taking Skin Illustrator Taxi, apply all over with a brush. Then did some spatter too. Using the Skin Illustrator Nova 6 palette, take Phoenix, start creating markings all around, skipping around a bit and building the markings more as I see fit. Creating some softer textures too. Put in some smaller details around the eyes and build the color up a little bit more. Then back to Taxi and lightly paint over the scale detail to brighten them back up from the orange. With Mehron paint in olive, paint over some of the areas and rub the excess color off the scales. This way the color gets in the spaces between them, and I don't have to paint through every single crack. Then to fix it up, just lightly color the tops of the scales where they needed it with the Taxi color. Using the olive Mehron, go in and line some of the areas and begin to bring some of those scales back onto the bald cap. Using an orange stipple sponge, add some darker textures along the yellow. This will make the yellow scales that we add later more visible. Took Taxi and roughly painted some blobs for scales. Not so much worried about the yellow area, but did bring this onto the orange. With Peridot Lizard from the Skin Illustrator Nova 6 palette, airbrushed some soft shadowing around the eyes and mouth, and shading the larger scale sections, creating some stripes within the back portions of the orange markings. Then start to paint noodling patterns on the yellow area for texture. Also making figure eights to create the illusion of different size scales. Went to the top of the head and loosely painted the lines drawn from earlier to continue the scales from the prosthetic. Spattered some of that Phoenix color over everything. While I had the color out, took a brush and built up the color in a few areas. Took Mehron Edge in black and blocked out the back of my head and shoulders. Back with Skin Illustrator Taxi, airbrushed the open areas of the green to mimic the scales. Use a brush to add a few sharper and smaller ones, then do a quick spatter. Grab Mehron Edge in white and a fan brush, lightly raked over high points, and finished it up with some spatter. With Skin Illustrator Black, paint in the slits where I cut out earlier, and create a slit down the bottom lip. Add some textures and blend it out a little. Airbrush the Peridot Lizard color around the mouth and shading the details in the sculpture, and adding textures on the chin. Add some more color anywhere that might need it. Highlight the edges of the slit with the white Mehron, and put a few highlights on some of the scales too. Used Emblazoned from the Collective Cosmetics Moontwin palette to add some shimmer. Put Kat Von D Lash Liner on the waterline and smudge it out. And contacts in. Use the Collective Cosmetics Abyss shade to further finish the eyes. Airbrush some black Skin Illustrator and darken the mouth. For some more shimmer, took the Collective Cosmetics Saint Holy highlighter. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this look, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Just a reminder, these tutorials are only a select few of the 31 looks I'm doing for the month of October. If you're curious to check them out, be sure to follow me on any of these other platforms. See you next time.